Does the carnivore diet heal autism? As I said in my last video, yes and no. That's what's so sad about our society. It's all ego-driven, it's all power-driven and money-driven. I have a lump in my breast that is almost as big as a golf ball, and since carnivore and me losing weight, it's visible with naked eye. You don't even have to touch it. So if that is happening with something so dramatic as a lump in my breast that could potentially become cancer, now imagine who cares about 10, 20, 1,000 human beings on the autistic spectrum? Who cares about us? We're doing better, but really, who cares? Who cares if we're doing better? I don't even really know where to start from because I think I'm a little bit in shock after the last video I published with my story about the improvement I had on the carnivore diet regarding my autism symptoms. I did not expect all those comments. I did not expect so many other people on the autistic spectrum and autistic ADHD, because technically my diagnosis is also autistic and ADHD, but the ADHD part, I have some ideas about that are probably not very mainstream media, so I haven't talked about that yet. But my point is, it's unbelievable. There's others that are on the autistic spectrum that have had incredible improvements on the carnivore diet. I had someone even comment that she's been on a carnivore diet, or he has, I'm sorry, I don't know. It's just, nicknames. And they have improved a lot. They have improved tremendously, and they cannot leave the carnivore diet because when they try to get back to eating other stuff, they dearly pay for it. And if that is not proof, I mean, really, do we need science to set up hypothetical experiments to go and look into our guts, into our cells, into our brains, to tell us what human living beings that are feeling better are telling us? And what I am telling you, I mean, okay, I can be a case, but if other people tell me, as a scientist, as a doctor, as a philosopher, as a psychiatrist, as a psychologist, would you not be interested to know how the hell did we do that? Why us? I remember my first year when I was doing my master in neuroscience, we had lots of lessons about the placebo effect. And the placebo effect, for those few that still don't know it because it's been around for a while now, is that I just give you a fake pill and you have the same results as people that are taking the real pill. And whereas other people, my teachers, meaning that, we're all into saying, well, we don't know what that happens, but we use it to make sure that the real pill works better than the non-existing pill. Whereas for me, that was like, okay, but why are we not investigating why people heal or at least get better, improve, when they just believe they're taking something that is better for them? Because that means there's something there that should really be investigated. But no, we don't do that. We investigate only the real pill, because the real pill, people that want to know how the pill works give scientists the money to do the research. No one pays to do research on placebo. And this is the same thing, and that's what's so sad about our society. It's all ego-driven, it's all power-driven and money-driven. So if you have, let's say, 10 people on the autistic spectrum that had severe improvements in their daily life, in their everyday life, in their autism symptoms, why would you investigate that? They don't mean anything. We do not have a piece of paper published on Elsevier or Neuroscience or any other so-called major publication that says so it doesn't exist. It's the same thing as the lump I have in my breast. I have a lump in my breast that is almost as big as a golf ball. And since carnivore and me losing weight, it's visible with naked eye. You don't even have to touch it. My doctor immediately sent me to have a mammography, sonography, and x-rays. And did I get an MRI? I don't know. I don't think so. Well, I'm telling you, it doesn't show up in any one of those tests. But all the doctors, the guy that was doing the sonogram, the guy from the mammography, they all felt it. And my specialty doctor, my gynecologist, also felt it. Now, here's the fun part. It doesn't show up in the images. I might show you if I find some of those images, I'll show them to you. You don't see it. It's true, you don't see it. There's nothing there. But of course, you see it and you touch it, and it's really hard. Now, what is it? 99% it's oxalates. It's an oxalate lump, because science on this side, this paper is saying that oxalate can get into your breast, and they're most likely precursors of cancer, breast cancer. So science does not see what they can touch with their own hands. So they told me, well, we can't do anything about it because it doesn't exist. So if that is happening with something so dramatic as a lump in my breast that could potentially become cancer, now imagine, who cares about 10, 20, 1,000 human beings on the autistic spectrum that were desperate? And those people that talked to me were all in the 40s, 50s, which is when you get really desperate if you're on the autism spectrum, because you get so tired of life. And it's not tired because you're just tired, it's because you're exhausted, because you spent most of your years literally in survival mode. So who cares about us? We're doing better, but really, who cares? Who cares if we're doing better? I have to promote all my boxed food, all my sugared food, because that makes you dependent on it. That makes you dependent on me. Like, I have to give you all those medicines that you won't be able to get off of, because I have to follow standards. Now, does the carnivore diet heal autism? As I said in my last video, yes and no. It heals, it literally heals a lot of symptoms of autism. Does it heal? Is someone not autistic anymore? No, I'm still autistic. Like last night, for example, when I was going through all these messages, all these comments on my last video, I got overwhelmed. I got totally overwhelmed. I had to sit down. I told my wife, I don't know what I'm feeling. It didn't go away. I'll always be like that. I will always have a different way of perceiving the outside world, of interpreting it, translating other humans, translating events. But what has healed is my reaction to it. I recognized it, I felt it, I talked about it, and I actually dissolved it, because today I was feeling good about it. I didn't have any problem. This in the past would have been a meltdown for sure, an absolute meltdown or shutdown, but it would have had a severe consequence, because I would not have been able to process an information that got blocked inside of my brain in a repetitive way. So, does a carnivore diet heal autism? It heals many of the symptoms. And I don't think it's only because you eat meat. It's first of all because you take away all the shit that you put inside of your body. Like all the sugars, all the gluten, all the refined everything. Carbs. If you eat a plate of pasta, or you eat a plate of rice, or you eat a loaf of bread, you might as well eat sugar, because in the guts, it does exactly the same thing. It inflames. Inflamed guts create an inflamed brain. You have a brain that has issues. Well, if you inflame it, it just works even worse. All right, look at that. I have a few observers here. They want this. Shall we throw it? Gotta love them. They're my saviors. So if you don't want to do the carnivore diet, but you want to feel better, which you can, do two things. Eliminate all sugars, all carbs from your life, and keep only veggies that you're sure are low in oxalates. So eliminate for sure beet, spinaches, chards, dark chocolate, and well, also the other chocolate, because it has sugar, so it's kind of a catch-22. Take away breads, take away grains, take away all of it, and then do that forever. Do it for 30 days. Any human can endure anything for 30 days. And when you've done that, you come back and you see how you're doing. And if you're not doing better, well, then come and tell me, and let's see what happened. But you have to be honest, Because, you know, doing it for 2 days and then saying it doesn't work, it's just bullshit. It's like breaking a bone, putting on a cast for 2 days, and then say, oh, see, it didn't heal. No, it won't. Because, see, something that people really forget in this day and age is that healing, like getting sick, needs time. You don't get sick in 1 second. You get sick in time when you repeat a behavior that is hurting you. Same thing, you don't heal in 1 day. We get pills from our doctors and from our mainstream medicine that hide the symptoms. They don't heal. They don't heal absolutely anything. They hide symptoms. And so you think you're healed. You have a headache, you take something against the headache is gone. The headache really is not gone. You don't get the signals that it's gone. It's different. So you want to heal, do something to heal. If you don't believe what I'm saying, go and look at the comments of the last video and see how others are experiencing it. Don't trust me. Actually, don't trust me at all. You really should not trust me, because what I say means nothing to you. You should do it. You should really do it. See for yourself. 30 days in your life. What the hell does that mean? 30 days. And if you don't do it, you're responsible for not doing it. It's just that easy. And if you are a parent of an autistic kid and you stumble upon this information, it's just your sheer responsibility to change the way you live. It can be difficult. Yes, it can be difficult. I know, but if you're a parent, you have a responsibility. And it's an egoistic world that is asking you everything without giving you anything in return. It's true. It's absolutely true. You knew that when you decided to have a child. So what did you have the child for? Did you have the child for yourself, for your own ego, to satisfy a need, lack, an emptiness inside of you? Or did you have a child because you actually wanted to give something to a child? If you want to go out and get them boxed food, give them spinach just because it's easier, because at least they eat and shut up. And I'm sorry, I do not take prisoners. When you are a child, no one else but your parents is supposed to be there and care for you. And if you don't care for your children, then you're responsible for their outcome.